back, guys, on my YouTube channel. I just finished a day of testing with the new beta 2023 models. We have here the RR 300cc 2-stroke and the 390cc 4-stroke. The bikes haven't changed much from the past edition, from the 2022 model, just minor refinement. For sure, the first one that you see is the different styling of the bike, different graphics. We have different radiator shrouds, and on the 4-stroke, the exhaust pipe shape and design has been changed. The reason for this, together with the maps, has been so that the average user has a better feeling in acceleration. The bike is easier to handle. And one important introduction is the traction control. So the switch for the map switch has changed, and you have two buttons, where one of the two buttons is to activate the traction control. On the 2-stroke, instead, we have the same switch like past year, no traction control. But on both, you always have the sun and the rain to make it very comprehensive to understand which map you're in. Without making a boring video on all the technical specs of the two bikes, and without, speaking bullshit about the big differences that you can feel between the 2022 model and 2023 model. Today I want to speak to you more about the feeling I had on both bikes, because there are a few things that I must say and share, which I have appreciated from the latest beta model bikes already from last year, but also from this year, is the fact that we have two different bikes, so a 2-stroke and a 4-stroke. You would think that the 2-stroke can do certain things and the 4-stroke can do other things, but today we had Beta come here over at my place because I really wanted to test the bikes in a situation that I know very well, so in an environment where I ride frequently, where I could really push the limit and understand if there are things I can do with the 2-stroke that I can't do with the 4-stroke. What I can say is I was able to go on all tracks with no problem and get the good feeling with both bikes. So it's not much now a matter of which bike certain terrains, rather it's more a question, if you're considering buying a beta, which type of bike you enjoy more riding. If you enjoy more the 2-stroke, so having lighter weight and a more responsive bike, or you enjoy more the 4-stroke, bigger stability and a smoother engine. Speaking about smooth engines, you can really feel the difference on both bikes on the ECU maps. If you switch from the sun to the rain, in the conditions we were today, very, very slippery because it's super dry terrain and with gravel roads also, you can feel that you have much more grip. A curious thing was I generally like more responsive bikes and I like aggressive bikes, but today riding Enduro and riding not on a normal track, I felt that on both bikes I preferred riding with the rain map. Reason for this is because I wouldn't be scared of exiting turns or going on obstacles and completely opening the throttle. Whereas with the rain map, the bike is much more responsive, but I would have a bit more difficulty finding traction. I know that you're all probably already commenting or asking me, which one do I prefer? For me, the choice goes on the 390 4-stroke. The reason for this is I'm used to riding 4-stroke. I like to have a nice smooth engine. I like to power drift on gravel roads and used to riding rallies and going in fast sections. I enjoyed the stability of this bike. Suspension wise, we tweaked slightly some clicks on the suspension. For my weight, it's a bit soft, but if we need to consider the average user that uses it to go on trail, so at a much lower speed than what we did on certain gravel roads, I think Beta has in mind with these bikes the comfort of the rider. So their goal is to make really comfortable bikes for average enduro riders. The reason for this is they believe that providing a bike where you don't need to do much maintenance, because I've had experience preparing also rally bikes, and the engine has proved to be extremely reliable. They also want you to ride comfortably. And you can see this from the seat, because it has quite a bit of foam. Whereas in the latest years we've seen on many enduro bikes, they tend to make really thin seats. But also the handlebar. When I was riding, I could ride standing up and I wouldn't feel my body the need to really bend down like on other bikes. So I thought the riding was really comfortable, especially also with the plastics, because you can move really well up and down on the bike, and the bike feels slim between the legs, which is very important when you're on tight enduro trails, and where we were on some rocks and some U-turns, I thought the bike handled really well. As I mentioned, if I had to push hard or I had to do a rally, these suspensions would be definitely too soft for my weight, because I'm over 100 kilos with all my gear. If you're thinking about buying these bikes for going out with friends on trails, I think they have a really good compromise, because you can feel the difference when you go and intervene on the suspension clicks, on the rebound and the compression and the preload. Personally, in the last years when I did all the tests with the Beta, I never really focused on the 390cc. And I think I underestimated this bike, because today, spending much more time, and we did quite a long loop, I felt that this could be the right cylinder capacity for enduro riding with 4-stroke, because the 350, when I ride it, I feel that being a very heavy rider, I would need a bit more power. Whereas with the 390, I have that more power I need, but not too much like with the 430, where it's a much tougher bike to handle, especially in tight enduro, where clearly if you're not trained and you find yourself in very technical sections, you want to find the right compromise in order to be able to manage the power of the bike and the handling of it. Furthermore, with the added traction control, you can feel the difference. And especially going uphill, I tried to put the rain map and traction control, and seriously, I could open completely the throttle and always find traction. Like at one point I wanted it to skid and I was having a hard time managing to make it drift. I hope you enjoyed these first impression on the 2023 Beta RR models. I must say that design-wise, I think Beta is a step ahead on all competition. You can really look at these bikes and see the made in Italy design. I wish I had more time on them. I think that the 300 two-stroke is a great bike if you go on very tight trails. Super lightweight, especially if I had to turn it around when we were doing some photos and some videos, was very easy to do. And on the 4-stroke, obviously that's a bit more weight. But if I had to choose a bike, I would go with the 390, even though the 300 two-stroke is amazing fun. The bikes all come with the Maxxis tires. As a first tire, I like it, and I think you can find good traction with it. Let me know in the comments if you have any question, anything you want me to tell you more about these bikes. Thanks guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Ciao!